members. My name is Pratik Shah and I'm the founder and CEO of Specsmakers. I would like to take you through my journey of starting from a single store to a 230 store network. Looking forward to see you all at the EO event, and thank you.
Helping you see the world in crystal clarity. Specsmakers has had a focused journey that has made it stand out in the optic world today. The journey of Specsmakers began in the year 2005 when Mr. Pratik Shah, a first-gen entrepreneur, along with his wife, decided to take his family's business to the retail segment.
I was born and brought up in Chennai, pursued my education and my engineering in Chennai in electrical. Then I moved to the US to pursue my MBA from Oklahoma State University. I did my MBA in finance and management, and post my MBA I moved on to working as a derivative analyst with Morgan Stanley. I completed a year of derivative analyst in Boston with Morgan Stanley, came back to India in the year 2004, continued my stint as a research analyst working for a small startup. My family hails from the optical business. They were predominantly distributors and wholesalers in Chennai, and it was a very small scale setup set by my dad, and he used to be a distributor of lenses. He decided to venture into the retail industry as a small mom and pop store in the year 2005. While he was in the process of setting up the store, I kind of was helping him out in setting up the store and kind of seeing what opportunity lies in retail. In the year 2005, he started his first store under the name Venkateshwara Optics. I was kind of working from home kind of a culture because I was working for a startup. So I was kind of understanding the business, and being a research analyst, I was kind of researching the eyewear business also. Between the year 2005 to 2010, I sensed an opportunity because the eyewear market was very unorganized and it was a completely disrupted mom and pop segment with 97% of the market being completely unorganized.
Slow and steady. Specsmakers started out in Chennai with an aim to penetrate into the markets that were most familiar.
I started understanding the business opportunity over here and decided that this can become a large-scale business, and because the market is already available but there are not many organized players in the segment. In the year 2007, I decided to start my own brand under the brand Specsmakers, and I started my first outlet in T Nagar.
Specsmakers followed the deep diving strategy, going strong into each city, then panning out across the nation.
2007 was the time when we started our first outlet in T Nagar, moved on to starting our second outlet in Ananagar in 2008 and 2009 in Nanganallur. The first year we opened about 3 stores. Between 2010 and 2012 we kind of understood the market, created our processes, laid the foundation, understood the supply chain, and decided that this can become a larger business, and decided to ramp up to 10 stores by 2011. And now we are about 230 stores in 2018.
This has fetched a fabulous result of over 200 stores with 100% growth each year. It's fascinating how they've spread. Their stores cover a broad radius in each area of their presence.
20% of our stores are franchised, even though they are run by the company itself. It's a company operated franchisee store. So at a front end, the customer would not see a difference between a front end company owned store and a front end franchisee store. Since our strategy is a deep dive strategy into every city, we look at the business model of 7-Eleven, which is a Japanese chain spread across the world. We would rather look at having a larger market share in the business rather than just being a business that is sporadic pan-India. You must have seen that a lot of our stores are kind of cluster specific into a same demography. They are like we have 3 or 4 stores in the same locality. We see that when you open more number of stores in the same city, there is an inherent branding that happens, plus the customer segment also feels a bit more confident in entering any of your stores. We are more of a neighborhood concept. So it's like the medical shop business. In a road, if you have about 5 to 7 medical stores, the opportunity is the more the number of medical stores, the larger the market share that you have. It kind of leverages our marketing, leverages our brand positioning, leverages the opportunity to reach more closer to the customer. And even if you're looking at Chennai, which is about 3,300 stores, even a 10% market share is about 330 stores.
What sets Specsmakers apart from the rest of the crowd is how they design and manufacture their own eyewear that is sold through their own stores, delivered in 3 hours. Their sourcing strategy has been extremely crucial in how they've grown as a brand.
My wife joined me in the business in 2009 once we got married. She is the COO in the company. Her name is Sonal, and she handles the entire supply chain and back-end processes and the purchasing of the entire products that we sell. Specsmakers today stands for high quality eyewear at affordable prices. We are a single brand retail. We create and manufacture our own designs from factories based in China.
Personalization and customization for the needs of the Indian audience, keeping it modern and international, is one of the best qualities of Specsmakers.
I, as a CEO, really look at net promoter score of my stores very closely. Our average net promoter score at our stores is about 61. The retail standards are 25 to 30. It's there on our invoice written. You can write it to the CEO at specsmakers.in. I personally get involved in understanding the customer's problem. Might be it's a delay in delivery, not happy with the product quality, glasses turned out to be thick. We get involved and we solve the problem for the customer rather than just losing the customer, because the lifetime value of customers in this industry is very high. Once a customer, he always needs a pair of glasses for the next 20-30 years. And if there is somebody in your family wearing glasses, the probabilities of the other people wearing glasses also very high. So for us, we look at stickiness of the customer very closely, and we make it a point that the customer is not lost for lifetime.
Their approach to marketing has been highly unique, roping in well-known faces like R. Ashwin and positioning their brand as youthful has worked out really well for them.
On the funding side, we've raised a Series A round of funding from Fidelity, which is 8 Road Ventures. We raised a $10 million round in the year 2017, and that round has pretty much gone into expansion and scaling up the business. So on the competition front, obviously it's good to have competition. We are the third largest player in India and the largest player in South India. Our competition comes more from the mom and pop stores, which are unorganized, do not have a very transparent pricing model, multi-brand, not having a very clear, transparent pricing to the consumer, and not very quality conscious. At the top end, we have players like Titan Eye Plus, Lenskart, Vision Express, GKB and Lawrence & Mayo, which are more on the branded segment. Pricing plays a very important role because customers today want to see the inherent value of the pair of glasses that they buy. Gone are the days about 10 years ago where people were buying very expensive eyewear because they wanted a particular brand. But that is still 10% of the market. You know, people who want the Ray-Bans and the Silhouettes and the Gucci's and Armani's of the world obviously don't consider us in their thought process. But there is a larger middle class population, which is about 60% of the wearers, that really look for value for money. We would compare ourselves to be the MI, the Oppo and the Vivo of the industry, and not the Apple of the industry.
The one true mantra that Specsmakers follows is retail is all about the detail. They understand the needs of the customer and deliver on those needs. Affordable pricing, latest collections, and guaranteed 3-hour delivery makes them the go-to brand for everyone's optic needs.
5 criteria of looking at a store location is basically it should be near a departmental store like a Nilgiris or a More supermarket or a Heritage supermarket. There should be a presence of another decent brand of optical store in that locality, near an eye hospital or an eye doctor, predominantly near a medical shop or kind of a consumer durable store, high street, a decent frontage of the store. At the same time, the store to have a better elevation. Our smallest store is as low as 140 square feet and the largest is about 600 square feet of size. The larger the facade of the store, it gives you more visibility and gives you more branding space for customers to identify your location more easily. We don't take locations that are close to drugs, alcoholic stores. We don't take locations that are close to mechanic or hardware shops. We don't take locations that are kind of off the market, kind of not in the market over there. Every store has got a net promoter score. So if a store falls in the net promoter score, we pull up the retail manager and ask him, why are we having complaints from the customer? And his incentive, his increment, his appraisal is decided on the NPS of the particular store that he is handling. We also do something very different is we start mystery shopping. Mystery shopping is we have a bunch of about 300 customers who visit our stores as customers, but they are a part of the Specsmakers family who just get paid to go do a mystery shopping. This is to understand the customer level experience at the front end. Is the store staff at the front end really following SOPs and processes? Are they really explaining the campaigns? Are they taking care of the customer? And then they give us a report once the mystery audit is done. So the front end guy does not know whether it's a serious customer or a mystery customer. So this is the way we kind of maintain the quality and the service levels across all our stores. And we are the only optician in India who does mystery shopping at this level.
We are wide-eyed with astonishment at the wonderful growth of Specsmakers and extend to them a hearty congratulations. It's a fair lesson that patience is key, and Specsmakers proves that it brings fruitful results.